Dear students, Assalamu alaikum. Welcome and good morning from the Department of Zoology, Government Postgraduate College, Satellitown, Rawalpindi. Our department has arranged online audio video classes from 15th of this month. In this connection, regularly these lectures will be uploaded for students. So you must get these lectures by downloading and read them repeatedly so that you can uh, prepare for the exam properly. So, in this connection, I have started chapter 14, part 4 of ecology, and in this connection, uh, first lecture of welcome lecture series by me uh, is before you. So let us start from the introduction of ecology. So to explain ecology and define it is that ecology is the study of relationship between living organism and their environment. So we can say that the study of how living organisms interact with each other and environment. There are three major environments uh, on this earth, that is marine environment, freshwater environment, and terrestrial environment containing many habitats. The environment can be divided into two natural divisions. Now we come to the abiotic or non-living environment and biotic or living environment. Biotic and abiotic factors affects each other in such a way as to produce a balanced system called an ecosystem, a fundamental unit in ecology comprising biotic and abiotic constituents, and these biotic and non-biotic constituents interact with each other in a defined area in an ecosystem. We know that different characters on different ecological scales are individual first, then population, then community, and then ecosystem, and lastly biosphere of the earth. You must know that all ecosystems are part of biosphere, and the study of all the different ingredients of ecology is very fascinating for students of zoology. And we know that animals and their abiotic environment, the main feature of non-living environment concern the climate, nutrient cycle, and soil. Then we see that these factors influence the number and distribution of living organisms within a given area in an ecosystem. Now we have a look on these ecological factors. When abiotic factors, for example, light, water, temperature, and nutrient cycles, etc., primarily affect plant growth, and they also affect animal taxons which feed on them, and the whole balance of nature depends on this type of pattern of ecosystem. Now have a look on this diagram how ecosphere in an ecosystem work. This is an GIF diagram taken from Google. We see that light energy, that is the universal source of energy in nature, how this light energy is consumed by autotrophs, here algae, and different nutrient cycles, and oxygen and carbon dioxide exchange between autotrophs and heterotrophs, and organic waste finally just put forwards on the earth, and decomposer unchain those organic elements from the excreta and dead remains of the body, then circulated, which is called biogeochemical cycle in an ecosystem. And this is very much what you call vital interaction between living and non-living organisms to run the business of ecosystem, and whole earth depends on this ecosystem biogeochemical cycle forever. Then we see that abiotic factors influence the animal and plant within a certain range of values, which is called the tolerance range. Now the tolerance range, called the range of optimum, determines the condition under which an animal is most successful. Look at the figure in the book on the page 192, figure 14.1. Then we see that all aspects of abiotic factors are vitally important for animals for their survival and reproduction in their environment. Now we have a look of energy utilization in ecosystem. First, we see that capacity of doing work is energy, an account of an organism's total energy intake, and a description of how that energy is used and lost is an energy budget. Figure 14.2, page 192 in the book Harley Miller, you can see this diagram. Limiting factor is defined as the nutrients and other components of a heterotroph or autotroph organism's environment that is in relatively short supply, and therefore restricts the organism's ability to reproduce successfully. That is the definition of limiting factors. Or limiting factor is very much correlated with the living organisms in their environment. So we must understand the energy limiting factors and other factors of ecosystem. Now the next abiotic factor is temperature. Temperature. Temperature is the degree of sensible heat or cold. It is the property of a system that determines whether or not the system is in thermal equilibrium with other system. Temperature influences rate of metabolism of an organism and also affects its overall activity in the environment. So temperature and its relativity with the living organism is very vital for the survival of organisms. Now, if we consider the physico-chemical relativity of living organisms, we can say that there is an effect of body size on metabolic rate for some mammals, which is expressed in milliliter of oxygen consumed per gram of the body weight per hour. This comparison is drawn in graph in Harley Miller book, page 192, figure 14.3. So try to understand this graph regarding the body metabolism and sizes of the different animals. So with the comparison of this body weight and body size and their metabolic rate, we can understand the efficiency of the animal and their activity regarding foraging, selection of the different factors, and survival, ultimately the survival of the animals in their environment. Sometime immediate adaptation of environment by any living organism is very challenging for the animals. So for acclimatization and adaptation in a new environment, this body size is very vital for adopting in the environment. Thank you very much.